I like it. And, add to that everything that's happening here that looks like really bottomy, and it just doesn't look like it's exhibiting any weakness. So I believe that that is the bottom for Bitcoin. Now, hello everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin or almost daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is May 30th, 2024. And this is not a drill. This is not a drill. The market has bottomed and is pumping. And I'm going to tell you why you can prepare yourselves for at least a good week of pumps. If that sounds interesting to you, then watch until the very end. Hope everyone's having a great day. Let's get into it. All right, I'm looking at Bitcoin, and about an hour ago, or maybe 2 hours ago, I flipped my shorts into long. My shorts did well, okay? My shorts did well, but I felt that this pattern that I heretofore thought was some sort of head and shoulders pattern, right, was slow to break down. I was like, okay, it's going to break down. It's going to break down. Remember, I had my target as the height of this superimposed from the side of breakout, right? That midline that I've been talking about so much. And I was like, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. But then I started looking at this, okay, in conjunction with my US dollar currency index. And I was like, maybe this is the bottom. Maybe our retest of the midline was this, okay? And I know I've gone back and forth on all of this, and some people may be frustrated, but that is the reality of trading and doing chart analysis. Like, as Peter Brandt, one of my favorite traders, says, well, maybe not my favorite trader, but a trader I respect. He says, strong opinions held weakly, right? I have strong opinions held weakly. Like, I do the best I can of my analysis with all of the information I have available to me, and I make a decision in that moment. And then if I get more information, I reassess, and there's no shame in reassessing. And I reassessed based off this right here, which I thought was a nice bottoming structure. And so I started to think, okay, what if I'm wrong? What if this is the bottom? Then what would that look like? That would look like a 5-wave up impulse and a 1, 2, 3 wave down ABC flat correction. Okay, and then the other thing that came to mind was, remember, you tried to time this. I don't know if you all saw my post. Maybe I posted this. Maybe I recorded a video about it. I don't remember. But I looked at the time it took for Bitcoin to go up. It was approximately 6 days, okay? And then I looked at the time it was taking to come down, and I said, hey, you know what? I know when it's going to bottom, in 6 days. And lo and behold, okay, no, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. In any case, putting that to the side, you do have an ABC correction here, okay? And this is a plausible correction to this 5-wave sequence that we have down here, right? From down here to up here. And this ABC correction, so it's approximately 6 days, a little more than 6 days. So I'll take it in terms of timing, right? It doesn't have to be exact, but I have an ABC correction which retraces to the minimum retracement of the 382 Fibonacci retracement level of the preceding wave up, and I take 6 days to go up. I take a little more than 6 days. A little more than 6 days to go down. Okay, so that to me seems like a viable, plausible trade thesis in terms of a 5-wave impulse and a subsequent 3-wave Elliott wave retracement, and I like it. I like it. And, add to that everything that's happening here that looks like really bottomy, and it just doesn't look like it's exhibiting any weakness. So I believe that that is the bottom for Bitcoin. Now, another thing, so I did mention the US dollar currency index, which is important because I said, the US dollar currency index is likely to go all the way back up here, right here, right? Test this as a resistance once more, but where we're at seems pretty staunch in terms of resistance, okay? And so I'm trying to figure this out. I'm always trying to see what patterns can I glean from this price action? What's going on? Okay, so what I'm seeing is this. I'm seeing an impulse, as I said before, okay? And I'm seeing an initial break, okay? That initial break may have been this may have been the initial break, and this may have been the completed 3-wave move of this impulse. Subsequent to that, you get another sort of another attempt at making a higher high, but then you have here, let me draw this a little more cleanly. You have another attempt of making a higher high, but then you have this resistance. Then you're rejected, right? And then you have another attempt at making a higher high, but then you have this resistance, and then you're rejected. You try once more, but you're once more at that resistance, okay? So there's a story here. And what's the story? What does it mean to be bearish? Technically speaking, if you think about it, bearishness is meeting previous resistances and failing at previous resistances. So basically the price is going to test, or the market, whatever it is, whatever the asset is, in this case it's an index, right? But still it holds, the principle holds. It's going to test previous resistances and try to break them, and if it fails, that's bearish. If it continuously fails to make higher highs and break resistances and turn resistances into support, that's a bearish trend. And that's exactly what I'm seeing here. I'm going to repeat. Okay, after this initial impulse, you have initial break of structure, retest, and then you have your completed ABC, right? Then after that, okay, let's try to go higher. Failed at the next logical resistance, which is here, okay? Boom, that's the failure. Let's try to go higher once more. Now the next logical resistance is right here, right? Do you see that? Let me clean it up so you can see it. So the next logical resistance is right here because you created a resistance here, right? 1, 2, 3. Failed. Try again. That is a failure. And that will be one failure or AB base, 2 failures or AB base, 2 pairs of AB basing, and 3 pairs of AB basing. That is the way I'm reading the US dollar currency index right now. Okay, I know it differs from what I posted earlier, but again, if you all expect any analyst to have one idea and to be right 100% of the time throughout, irrespective of the new information, please tell me, who are they? I want to learn from them. But what most people do, what I do, let me not speak for anybody else, what I do is I do my best given the information. New information comes, I reassess, and then I think about what I'm seeing, zoom out, all that stuff, use indicators if I need to use indicators, and that's how I do my work. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing in US dollar currency index. I'm currently seeing some bearishness at these levels, and so I believe that the US dollar currency index is likely to open, or at least give us a retracement to the downside sooner than not, which should have which should underpin, or which should encourage our risk on assets like Bitcoin and all the other cryptos to go. Okay, so we talked about Bitcoin, we talked about the US dollar currency, and that's great. But what about the altcoins? And I mean, the altcoins are likely to put in massive moves over the next week. Why do I say the next week? Okay, today is May 30th. The next lunar cycle, the next lunar phase is the new moon. What do we know about the new moon? The new moon in financial markets represents local market tops. So I do expect for us to pump for the next 7 days because the next new moon is on the 6th of June. So I would not be surprised if these assets started running up until the 6th of June, at which point they reach the next logical resistance, then retrace. That's a week straight of pumping, and from what I'm seeing on some of these assets like LIT, which is already up almost 5% since I entered a trade on it a couple hours ago. Let's see. Let me go to my higher time frame chart of LIT entry. I'm expecting a move all the way up here, okay? That's the next logical resistance for me, because if I'm looking at this chart of LIT entry against USDT, right? I see that the price came down in the bear market like so, okay, and created this very natural, very strong level of resistance right here, right? The price basically went down, tried to reclaim a higher high, right? But bearishness, once again, is trying to reclaim a higher high and failing. And that's the failure from this pivot point right here. Bullishness is the complete opposite. It's a breaking of resistances, retesting them as support, and then continuing on. So I'm seeing a move up here, and I like this because a move up here means a retest all the way back down here, retesting this long-standing multi-year accumulation as support before continuation. Okay, that's kind of what I'm seeing, and I like the symmetry there. I have it in my training notes. Lots of times these charts make for nice, pretty symmetry. Okay, so you would get some sort of nice inverse head and shoulders, bullish reversal pattern. This is just an example, but this is one of the reasons I'm seeing really, really strong bullishness in altcoins. And this altcoin in particular, I have going about 5, 6x, 6x, right, in the next week. Okay, that's on average a little more, about 100% a move a day, right? That's crazy. But after you've accumulated for 740 days, right, a 600% move is in the cards, right? Let's look at an altcoin that everybody recognizes, Ethereum, and this is on the high time frame. Okay, or sorry, this is a larger chart of Ethereum. I mean, this is going into escape velocity, much like Bitcoin, right? You're at all-time high areas, right? Even if you're not technically at all-time high, like exactly, you're in the area of all-time high. That means any breakout goes into price discovery. Price discovery meaning there's no prior resistances to say that is the next logical resistance. So that is really exciting for something like Bitcoin, for something like Ethereum. The best way to do it is use the moon phases. You know who else uses them? Tom Crown, right? He understands the moon phases. I mean, if you're not using these indicators that are so regular or so reliable, I don't know what we're doing here. Okay, so that's kind of what I would do in the medium short term with a lot of these trades. If you're long and you want to take profit, look at a week's worth of trading and then take profit in or around the new moon, which would be a good idea because it typically signifies a local market top. That's pretty much all I have. I don't want to make this video too long. Just wanted to say this is a legitimate bottom in my estimation. I think that the price goes up from here. I think that not only do we see a big move in the Bitcoin price, but we also see a massive move in altcoins. Guys, hope that was helpful. Hope that was useful. Like, share, and subscribe. If you got value, consider buying me a coffee at the pinned comment below. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.